What's the dumbest misunderstanding you've had with a student? I was teaching high school biology, genetics, which is honestly one of my favorite units. We'd just gotten to dominant versus recessive traits, and I was doing my usual breakdown. To keep things simple and relatable, I used eye color as an example. I explained that brown eyes are genetically dominant over blue eyes. Super standard stuff. Most of the class was nodding along, jotting notes, looking half interested, but at least awake. Then Jake raised his hand. He had that totally sincere, slightly confused look and asked, "So, does that mean people with brown eyes are better than people with blue eyes?" I laughed, kind of gently, figuring he was messing with me. I said, no, dominant just means the trait shows up more often. It doesn't mean anything about being better or worse. He nodded, the class moved on, and I didn't think about it again until the next morning. I walked into school and immediately got called to the principal's office. No warning, just please come to the office. I was racking my brain the whole walk down thinking, did I forget to submit grades? Did someone cheat on a test? Nothing came to mind. When I walked in, Jake's parents were already there, and they were not happy. His mom looked ready to flip the desk, and his dad had his arms crossed, glaring at me like I'd personally insulted his ancestors. Before I could even say hello, Jake's mom blurted, "How dare you tell our son that brown-eyed people are superior and should dominate blue-eyed people?" I blinked. I thought I misheard her, but she kept going. "We know what dominant means. You're promoting some weird eye color supremacy in your classroom." I was so stunned I just stood there for a second. Then I tried to explain. Dominant and recessive are just genetic terms. It's not about being superior. It's literally about how genes are expressed. I even mimed Punnett squares with my hands. Didn't help. Jake's dad just kept shaking his head like I was the idiot. "You can't fool us. Dominant means better. That's basic English." They were dead serious. The mom demanded I apologize for spreading dangerous ideas and said Jake had come home feeling blue-eyed and inferior. I was spiraling. My brain was running every possible angle to explain this in plain language, but it was like arguing with conspiracy theorists. Thankfully, the principal, calmest guy alive, intervened. He pulled up the curriculum right there on his laptop and walked Jake's parents through every single line of the genetics section. He even grabbed a marker and drew out a giant Punnett square on the whiteboard, carefully explaining how dominant and recessive traits worked using pea plants to dial it all the way down. Jake's parents still looked skeptical. The mom kept muttering about how science has gone too far, and the dad was side-eyeing the Punnett square like it was propaganda. Then, from the corner of the room, Jake finally spoke up. He raised his hand in the principal's office and said, I might have misunderstood a little. I was texting during class and I didn't really hear the whole explanation." There was a beat of dead silence. Then both parents snapped their heads toward him in slow motion. The dad turned bright red, yanked Jake's phone out of his pocket, and shoved it in his own coat like it had personally betrayed him. His mom launched into a full meltdown lecture about paying attention, not embarrassing the family, and starting drama with science teachers. I just stood there in stunned silence, letting the waves of secondhand embarrassment roll over me. As they were finally leaving, Jake trailing behind like a kicked puppy, the mom turned to me. She gave me this awkward little smile, leaned in close, and whispered, "Just between us, I still don't think brown eyes are better than blue." Then she winked. I swear I heard the principal stifle a laugh behind me. They left. The door clicked shut. I just stood there for a moment in the quiet, trying to absorb what had just happened. I felt like I'd accidentally walked into an episode of The Office High School Edition. I went back to my classroom, took a deep breath, and spent the rest of the day trying not to think about eye color.